What's going on, YouTube? It's NCN Place to Be, chilling with Mr. A&D, back to give you guys an NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2 review. Yes, that's me. Right now, kicking it by myself until maybe till some other Nerd Coalition members be able to come here and join me on this live. But I have me and I have you. And I'm here, be here with a lot of energy because, man, I was like in school with this night, taking all these kind of notes. And I'm telling you right now, if this thing is called Stand and Deliver, they deliver. They stand up yesterday on Wednesday, but they delivered. Okay? They delivered on night 2. 5 matches. I have almost nothing negative to truly say about how the matches went down. And they were what I expected to be. Some actually blew my expectations a little bit. So, I was ready to get up in this. I came in a little late. I do apologize for starting the live a little bit late for you guys. So hopefully I'll just give you a couple seconds, to get in the live and join with me and stuff like that, or what's going on. So we can get that stuff prepared and everything like that. So shout out to, I know Q Flow's out there watching. You welcome to join anytime, brother. Anytime you welcome to come on there. Saying that goes for my main man Prime Time and stuff like that. So we getting that going. Let me just make sure I pull up my notes here, and I got my water because we definitely gonna need some water to talk about this. And all right, bro. So let's get up in this. So we're at night 2. Night 1 did some good things. I enjoyed night 1, but now we're about to night 2. And how do we start night 2? Well, we start off with my main man, Santos Escobar, is taking on Jordan Devlin for the undisputed Cruiserweight Championship in a ladder match. Ladder match, guys. So this was Shawn Michaels brought into the ring, and I think I have the graphic that you can pull up. So right now, I was very excited about the ladder matchup here. We're gonna see who's the truly undisputed Cruiserweight Championship, and the match is already off to a hot start. It's a ladder match. You know it's gonna be off to a hot start. You know these guys are gonna go out there and do their thing, especially when it's dealing with cruiserweights. I actually like that we got a ladder match for the Cruiserweight title. We always get Intercontinental, stuff like that, that mid card, but having for the Cruiserweights go out there and show us what they're doing, absolutely. So there's a time where Santos Escobar has Jordan Devlin down. He tries to go to slingshot him onto the ladder. Jordan Devlin latches onto the ladder like Spider-Man, climbs up it. Then Santos does that he takes his leg and swings it, but Jordan Devlin comes down, hits him with a DDT. That was nice. The swing leg thing, I remember Randy Orton doing that back in 2013. He started doing that with RVD, where he would swing his leg down and to catch him in an RKO. I remember he did it with Cesaro at one time, and that was dope. So I really, really enjoy, seeing when he's able to go out there and do that. Then there's like a ladder on the outside standing straight up. So Jordan Devlin's on the outside, and he's right there by the ladder. Santos Escobar, full head of steam, dives through the ropes, right on Jordan Devlin, and hits him right, and he crashes right to the ladder. I'm not the biggest fan of the dive through the ropes thing, but when it's a spot like that, and he dives through the ropes like that, I thought that was just dope and brilliant and everything like that. So we go back into the ring. Guys are still fighting. They're putting their bodies on the line. Escobar gets knocked down, and he's right there. There's a huge ladder in the corner. So usually when there's a ladder in the corner, we know we're gonna get a splash off of it, right? We've seen RVD do this with Christian on Raw, or whatever. So Santos is laying down. Jordan Devlin walks up to the top of it. I thought he was gonna get a splash. He turns around and hits a picture perfect moonsault off the top of the ladder right into Santos Escobar. This is something that Shaw need to be looking at. It was a picture-perfect moonsault off the very top. Not like you got 2 rungs of the ladder left. At the very tippy top of the ladder, there's a moonsault. I'm like, it's so hard just to execute a splash off of a wobbly ring, let alone off the top of a ladder, like we do at Foster. You don't get enough launching power. But to be able to time yourself and do that moonsault, that thing was just great. Then after, so he's done. Escobar's done. Jordan Devlin's going to climb the ladder. Then here comes Legado del Fantasma coming in and is beating up Jordan Devlin. They take him to the outside. They knock him off the ladder, and he's good at catching himself, because it just scared me kind of like how, if anybody remembers Survivor Series 2016, I think it was, when Braun Strowman threw AJ Styles over the top rope, and AJ just grabbed that rope and kind of tumbled over the outside but had a safe landing. He was falling and he put his arm just on the apron just in time to flip out. I was like, whoa, y'all going with a lot of adrenaline here. Somebody truly could have got hurt. So they attack him. Then Santos gets the ladder. He's just climbing up. And then Jordan, out of desperation, throws another ladder up there to hit Santos Escobar. So now we're down. We're back to the fight. He sets up another ladder right there to the side of him and gives him, the flip bottom, the slice bread, the ninja. God, what do they call that move now? But he gives it to him off the top of, off the middle of the ladder. So dope. It was a dope move right there. And then we set up a ladder back up in the ring. Both men are climbing it. There's also a ladder that's leaning in on the side of the ring. Santos headbutts Jordan Devlin. He falls backwards into the ladder. He's done. Santos Escobar goes up and grabs both belts, and he is the winner of. He's the undisputed cruiserweight champion. Great way to start off the show. Great way to get the crowd high over the little crowd that was there, and just having that small crowd ambiance in there. It makes it for me, especially after seeing the Hall of Fame without no crowd. That right there, it truly makes it for me. So I'm so glad that they had that a little bit of crowd there. Santos deserves the win. I did pick Jordan Devlin to win, but Santos has been doing good with Legado del Fantasma, with his look, with his character, with his wrestling abilities. So I think all of it has been good. So he wins the championship. Next up, we have for the women's tag team championships. We have Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart taking on Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, also known as The Way. So, I was like, this was the match. I was like, okay, it's cool to have it on the card, but I wasn't expecting too much from this matchup. But you know what? They did good. I am really growing on Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart as a tag team. I want to know how y'all feel about them as a tag team as well. But I'm really growing on them as a tag team. And the match was pretty good. They are really in sequence of the things that they're doing. They're really getting their team chemistry. Because at first I was just like, well, Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae is going to win this matchup. The Way is going to win this. But after seeing like midway through the matchup of how Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart is working together, I was saying definitely keep the titles on them. Ember Moon goes to the top rope, and she, as everybody's on the outside, after Shotzi Blackheart already died, almost tried to kill herself going outside. Then we have her dive to the. She does like a flipping senton from the middle rope to the outside to the ground. So that was dope. Ember Moon comes back in. Both Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae are both wobbly. She does a huge eclipse and takes out both of them. Candice LeRae rolls out. Indy Hartwell's the one that's down. Shotzi Blackheart hits the tag while Ember Moon was already on top rope about to get ready for the eclipse and hits her falling senton, which looks like it sucks because she ain't getting no Akira Tozawa air like she does when Akira Tozawa does it. He does his senton, like he just floats up and it comes down. It's like she just rolls off and just falls all body right there on you, and it looks like it sucks. Okay, so they win and they retain their women's tag team championships. The only thing I have an issue with when it comes to the women's tag team championships is this: there's no other tag teams, and you have to do makeshift tag teams a lot of times. I enjoy these two. I enjoy Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart finding their footing, and I think you should keep the titles on them for a while to help them establish them as a legit team. And then you help build some more women's legit teams. And then, because Raquel and Dakota was like the only legit team I could think of, but Raquel is the women's champion right now. So, Dakota ain't coming for them titles no time soon. But you got to help develop some more teams if you're really going to have the women's tag team championships. What women's tag team would you make for NXT? That's the question, bro. I got to sit there and think, who's on the roster? Because we got a lot of good components, but there's no teams. They didn't make no teams. I think, honestly, if they would focus on actually trying to make the Robert Stone brand something special, I really think that would be kind of cool. Also, had them, have Aaliyah and wherever Vanessa Bourne is at, because she's calling with Aaliyah, and they got this new girl that's with Aaliyah right now, and I'm like, they kind of like in the background, but you can establish the Robert Stone brand as a tag team as well, and just there's some women that's coming up in the ranks, and then just take some two rookies and just help build a tag team out of them. Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro is a tag team, but Casey Catanzaro is injured at the moment. Oh, I think she's really injured, and they had to write her on TV, so that team is kind of done right now. And since Io Shirai is not the champion anymore, I wouldn't mind seeing Io Shirai and Xia Li, because that'd be the best of it's Chinese and Japanese, so the whole continent of Asia comes together with that one. So I think will be something I'll be interested in. So now it's time to go into the North American Championship. Johnny Gargano, Johnny Takeover, Johnny Wrestling taking on Bronson Reed. I had to get a sip of water. So we seen Bronson Reed last night outlast not one, not two, not three, not four, five other guys to make it to this matchup in that whole 6-person eliminator they had. And boy, he put on a good show, and they are really pushing Bronson Reed. So we just want to see how is Thick Boy going to survive in here with Gargano. Well, in the beginning, it's showing a size disadvantage going on. Gargano trying to hit him all the fast stuff. He comes off the ropes and tries to jump in, and Bronson Reed just pushes him down, shows the strength until he just hit him in his ribs. And that's where it affects him. Then he rolls to the outside, and Gargano pushes him to the edge of the table right there on the ribs. That right there truly sucks. But I forgot to mention that in the beginning, Bronson Reed does a little cartwheel to avoid one of Johnny Gargano's kicks. Very Bam Bam Bigelow like. So seeing big men be able to do some athletic things is cool. And I like how Bronson Reed is playing the big man thing right now, because those are kind of big men I am into. To the ones where I'm a very athletic big guy, but I will show it to you when it counts. I don't need to show it to you every day, because if I show it to you all the time, then all of a sudden, all these moves that I can do are no longer as good. Well, answer the question from last place winners. I don't. There are not people that are still mad at Gargano. He's a heel right now. I mean, there's only going to truly be one person that's mad at Gargano, which is my partner in crime that's on the live with me right now. Because I know Q Flow is somewhere, spazzing right now because he's seen the results that Johnny G definitely won the matchup. But hey, Johnny G can put, he's in that category right now that he can have a 5-star match with a broom, because there was like 3 people I said that they can do that. And that was Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, and Kenny Omega. And Johnny Gargano is definitely going into that conversation. We go back into the ring, and we get more action, but the Johnny Gargano is still working on the ribs. They go to the outside where the stage is at. Gargano tries to give him a one final beat on the stage, but Bronson Reed catches him, turns into a powerbomb, kind of like a Razor's Edge style, and powerbombs Johnny Gargano back into the ring, straight Mike Awesome style. If anybody remembers ECW, when Mike Awesome, he had the Awesome Bomb, but the cool thing about Mike Awesome is it wasn't just a regular powerbomb. He would powerbomb Spike Dudley outside the ring. He would powerbomb Spike Dudley off the top rope. He would powerbomb Spike Dudley in the ring. So all the times you see Brian Cage powerbombing Darby Allin outside the ring and inside the ring, think of Mike Awesome, okay? Because he's the one who started that kind of stuff. And he does that to Johnny Gargano, and he goes and tries to go for the big boy splash, but then Johnny misses. Johnny moves out the way, and he misses. And then he gives him a Poison Rana. I did not think Bronson Reed was going to take a backwards Hurricane Rana. I'll be completely honest with you. Didn't think he was going to take it at all. Well, he took it. Then he gets Johnny tries to put the Gargano escape on him, but he powers out of it. He hits him with a super kick, and then Johnny hits him with 2 back-to-back one final beats, and Johnny Gargano retains the North American Championship. Nothing that I'm surprised about here, because like I said, I knew Johnny Gargano would probably most likely win, but I was like, I wanted to see this match is basically to see if Bronson Reed can hold up have a good match. And I'm actually going to taunt Q-Flow right now and let him know that Giant Gargano is still the winner. You mad? So I'll make sure he goes out and does that. All right, so now we are down to the final 2 matches. I was like, there's no way Cole and O'Reilly don't go on last. There's no way that Karrion Kross and Finn Balor is going to go last. But before I go into them last 2 matches, I got this question right here. You mentioned big athletic guys. Who are big guys that show that well? Oh, the one who just got to the Hall of Fame yesterday, Kane, Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow. Those are big guys that I enjoy them being the big physical stature, but they're very athletic guys. They can do a lot of good things. And I mean, Braun Strowman is like that. Big Show's like that also. But then, a lot of things that Braun and Big Show do now is like they are lacking the big guy element. They try to do more cruiserweight stuff. And same thing with Braun Strowman. Oh, see, that's one thing I did miss. Because I just really ran over my notes here. Because there was a point in that Braun Strowman match that he dove through the ropes. And I swear, I don't like seeing Braun Strowman dive through the ropes at all. But he dives through the ropes, and then he hits Austin Theory, then throws Gargano on the Theory. And I'm like, I'm glad he be getting it. But his feet be almost clipping that rope to the point I'm like, see, I can see something happening very, very bad. And sometimes there are certain things that you got to save for the younger guys. Not the younger guys, the more, cruiserweight style guys. So, all right. We're about to get to our double main event, they call it. And I'm so glad that we got the NXT Championship up first between Karrion Kross and Finn Balor. So, as soon as this match happened, I was like, look, Karrion Kross is not losing this matchup because he ain't never lost the NXT Championship in the first place. And he got injured by doing, doing a pseudo suplex with on Keith Lee and hurting his arm. And now Finn Balor was holding it. And he did. Finn Balor done an excellent job at NXT, being the NXT champion and everything like that. Excuse me. But I knew Karrion Kross was going to come to get this. Once again, at a takeover, Karrion Kross's intro is dope. Him and Scarlett come out, fall and pray, all that great stuff. And it's just cool. Finn Balor comes out also. You know what? I miss the Demon. Usually when like big takeovers like this, I miss the Demon. And it shows that since we ain't got the Demon right now, we don't have any of this kind of stuff. But I do miss the Demon. So, in the beginning, we get Karrion Kross is obviously playing the strong game. Like, Finn Balor, you too little, man. Get out of here. You can't stop me. You too little for that. Then we get Finn Balor playing more the submission game, the more technical game of trying to, lower down the big guy. So it's a big cat and mouse game being played at the beginning. Karrion Kross tries to go for, as we're going through the matchup here, because I'll be honest with you, Karrion Kross, he don't bore me at all. He has the look, he has the character, he has everything like that. But when it comes to Karrion Kross, even back in Impact Wrestling, I just was never big into Karrion Kross or Killer Kross, whatever the case may be. But he has the look. He has something. I'm by no means I'm saying he's trash, but it's just that watching, like, I'm not trying to watch a 20-minute classic from him, to be honest with you. So there was times I was in and out the matchup, but he sets Finn Balor up to go for that forearm smash. I like it. As he's going for it, Balor hits the Pele kick. As he hits the Pele kick, he goes and hits a shotgun drop kick to him in one corner, then hits it to him in the back. Goes up to the top, hits a perfect coup de grace on the Karrion Kross, and Kross kicks out. And I said, man, Balor, I knew it. You wasn't going to be able to do that. You ain't going to be able to win the match if he couldn't pin him with that coup de grace. So after the coup de grace, he turns into like a sleeper, or that straight jacket sleeper that he turns into. Finn Balor tries to get out and turns into something else and tries to make him tap out, but then Kross just gets to behind him and just starts wailing right there on the back of Finn Balor's head and shoulders over and over again with that forearm. I better be careful because my arm is still a little sore because I got the COVID vax today. And Finn Balor is like, he's like out of it. He's done. and he just picks up his limp body, gives him a release German suplex. When he gets up and hits him with 2 forearms in the back to make sure Balor is down. 1, 2, 3. Karrion Kross is your new NXT champion that he never lost. And like I said, despite how I feel about Karrion Kross, the man is great. Okay, like he has the great look, especially holding that championship. And I'm just like, man, if it wasn't for Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, that's my thumbnail. But right now, it's like it's a badass look. Him, Scarlett with that championship is a dope picture. And like I said, they have that. I got another question off topic, but who would you think would win against Demon Finn and The Fiend? Well, if both of them could not get injured, and we would have had this match a couple years ago. But since that ain't the case, honestly, The Fiend will probably win that one. They'll probably book The Fiend to win that one, and because it'll be a WWE match, Vince is in charge of that. Vince likes the bigger guys. It'll be a good one, but Vince will have The Fiend beat the Demon. I definitely see that happening. All right, guys, it's main event time. Unsanctioned matchup. Kyle O'Reilly taking on Adam Cole, baby. Awesome video package these guys had. I'm telling you, awesome video package that they had. And I was like, this feels like a big time matchup. First of all, Kyle O'Reilly, he coming out like, remember Creed, the first Creed movie, and how they all coming out. He has the whole ambiance. I was like, yo, bro, all I need is Tupac playing in the background. He's ready because they with the guitar. He just sitting there, just he's feeling himself. I'm like, yo, they got the lights dimmed down, got the spotlight coming on him. Big time match. They got all the security to block them off so they won't affect the matchup until the match starts. Loved it. Adam Cole comes out. First of all, both of them are rocking new music. So, we don't have an Undisputed Era theme anymore. So, that has put the stamp of saying that thing is officially dead. So, peace to Undisputed Era. So, with this big time match, the guys are standing right there. And then it's an unsanctioned match. So, for those who are not familiar with the unsanctioned matches, that NXT WWE, the company, is not liable or responsible for anything that happens to these guys in this matchup. Okay? This is the only second unsanctioned match that we had in NXT history. The first one being Ciampa and Gargano. So, they had a good unsanctioned matchup also. And I knew before there are going to be people in there that be like, man, look, this wasn't going to top Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, or this wasn't going to even top Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa from AEW. We're dealing with NXT, we're dealing with WWE, who has a different top style programming than AEW does. I've seen great Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole matches, and I think with this one, there are some things I wish they would have added into the matchup also, but I knew it wasn't going to be a bloodbath like Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. And sometimes they just do gore fest just to have gore fest, and I appreciate the storytelling and the callbacks in this matchup. So, let's run down the notes because I took a ton of notes for this matchup. So, both guys are on the outside. They slamming each other against the wall. First of all, the funny thing was I was so excited for when this match came on. I accidentally unplugged my PS5. And I said, fuck. So, I had to go there, make sure I plug it. Had to wait for the whole thing to restart and everything. So, by the time I come back, they already out there beat each other against the walls. So, I missed like the first 2 minutes of that matchup. I'm a little upset by that. I'll go back and watch it though, because Peacock does not have a rewind button. I'm like, why can't I Alright, but okay, well, they got to work that out, going into the future. So both guys are slamming each other against the wall. Say Kyle O'Reilly slamming himself. Then we got I'm not bragging about having no PS5, by the way, last place winners. I'm saying, especially I know other people out there that had it first. So he slams O'Reilly into the wall and stuff like that. And Kyle O'Reilly's like on the top rope, and then he gets knocked down. He takes a nasty fall, hits his head on the outside, and then Adam Cole goes and takes out a Undisputed Era chair. Oh, to put insult to injury, right? And he goes and he tries to hit Kyle O'Reilly. Well, he does hit Kyle O'Reilly with the Undisputed Era chair. So there was a time he sets the chair up on the outside. But Kyle O'Reilly knocks Cole into the chair, starts giving him the kicks, so Cole blocks the kicks and takes out Kyle O'Reilly. But as Cole's in the ring, Colorado takes out a chain. So he takes out the chain, throws it in the ring. As he's getting up, Cole gets him from the in the middle rope and gives him a neck breaker right on the chain. That sucked. So then we go back in here. Like I said, plenty of news. We go back into the matchup, and then Adam Cole has that undisputed era chair again, and then he's trying to go hit it, but then he misses it, and he brings it back up. Colorado just punches the chair right into Adam Cole's face. Now you usually see that done by like a lot of big men. Like I've seen Mark Henry do it, I've seen Vader do it, where the big guy would just punch the chair right through the shoulder strength. But having Colorado do it to Adam Cole, I thought that was very, very dope. Then Kyle Riley with the chain wraps the chain around his his shin and starts kicking Adam Cole with it, but Adam Cole blocks it and he turns it to a figure four leg lock, and while the chain is still on Kyle Riley's leg, so it's even hurting Kyle Riley more. Kyle Riley reverses it to reverse the pressure on Adam Cole, which breaks that move. So as they go to fight, Colorado comes running off the ropes, and now the chain that Colorado had is like dangling over the ropes, but it's caught up with something. So Adam Cole just pulls the chain, so it creates like a clothesline, and the chain clotheslines Colorado. I thought that was kind of dope. And then he goes and gives him the backstabber with the chain. I'm like, oh my god, we are really, he getting brutal here. Well, at least with the chain, because chains hurt. You know that. So we get Adam Cole sets up two chairs. This scares me. Takeover Philly. When they was here in Philly, it was Adam Cole versus Aleister Black in a street fight. And he set up the two chairs back to back. So the backs of each chair was stand up. So and he got Death Valley Driver on that back of them chairs, and that just looked like it hurt. I was like, that was just stupid. Don't take that up ever again. And I was like, as soon as he set up them chairs, I was like, oh my god. Please don't brainbuster Colorado on them chairs, or please don't do whatever the case may be. But he goes and he sets it up in the corner. He goes and gives Colorado a German suplex, and after Colorado gets hit with the suplex and rolls through it, then he goes and gives him the Shining Wizard on the chairs. Colorado still kicks out. The man is still fighting, so he kind of rolls to the outside. Cole takes off. He said, "No, we're gonna end this right now." Takes off the top of the steel steps and goes for the brainbuster to Kyle O'Reilly. But Kyle O'Reilly says, no, we're not going to do that here. He reverses it, and it puts Adam Cole into a choke. And he chokes him out standing up, and then just kicks him hard in the chest. Then he's going to go and give him the brainbuster on the steel steps. But he's sitting there, he hesitates like, man, this Adam Cole, we've been through a lot. Man, screw that! Do it! So he doesn't do it, but then he comes back and says, I want to do it, but Adam Cole reverses it, pushes him into the barricade and everything. Cleans off the table, so now everybody get the announce table. They both on the announce table. They're both fighting back and forth, but Kyle O'Reilly says, no, I'm going to get my brain buster. Kyle O'Reilly hits a brain buster on Adam Cole. On that announce table, Adam Cole bounces, because the table don't break. So that looked like it sucked. It was one of them Hogan tables, I call them. It don't work with you. And they sit there with the brainbuster, and as he brainbusters Adam Cole, he bounces off the table. It just looked like it's something that I would not want to take it off. And Adam Cole sits there and rolls past the barricade to the outside where the fans would be at. Colorado goes to fight him, and then out of nowhere, Adam Cole just grabs like this little, I would say 19-inch flat screen TV and one of their monitors, and just goes off the top of the head with Kyle O'Reilly. I was like, wow, I haven't seen, the last time I see somebody get hit with a flat screen was Roman Reigns was pissed during the time WrestleMania 32, and he hit Triple H with like a 43-inch flat screen TV, which I thought is like one of the most funniest things that they wanted to do. As they go back, Adam Cole gets a toolbox. And I'm like, oh, here we go, the toolbox. At first, he takes out the little plier type things, like he's trying to get one of Colorado's teeth out, but then gets a tire iron. And he's going to go hit him with the tire iron, but then Colorado fights back again. And then he puts the chain around Adam Cole's arm and goes for an arm bar on Adam Cole. But then he won't let go, but then Adam Cole takes the tire iron and hits Colorado with the tire iron, to break it. I'm like, jeez, this is brutal. We do get a we want tables chant, but I'm just like, this. I wonder if you're gonna get them. I mean, because the announce table ain't break, so I mean that was your table spot. I'm guessing, going through it. Where we at here? So they both had the two chairs in sitting position. They both sitting in there. They're hitting it. The yay boo hits where the face hits and the crowd chants yay, and then the heel hits, Adam Cole hits, and then they boo and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that's cool because they're showing how tired they are, exhausting it is, and then Adam Cole takes out Kyle O'Reilly, and then he puts his neck in between one of the folding chairs. And he's going to take the Undisputed Era chair and hit him over the head with it. The ref's like, you don't want to do this, Cole. You don't want to do this. It's an unsanctioned match. Ref, you really don't need to be able to. You really shouldn't say nothing. But I guess, his compassion came over. And Adam Cole was just like, shut up. So he hits him. I think he hit him or super kicks the referee. The referee's down. And he says, shut up, do your job, whatever the case may be. So then he goes over back over to Kyle O'Reilly, hits a Panama Sunrise to Kyle O'Reilly, but guess what? There's no ref to make the pin count. So now Adam Cole's pissed. So now he tries to slap the referee and wake the referee up. And as the referee's coming to, Kyle O'Reilly and him start fighting on the stage. And then Kyle O'Reilly jumps and puts him in like another dragon type sleeper. And Adam Cole's just like, it ain't time yet. And then he just leans forward and they go crashing through the stage. And I was just like, wow. They're really trying to, give it all right here. They go crash through the stage. Adam Cole gets off the stage and starts kicking out the side of the stage to pull Kyle O'Reilly through the side of the stage. Never seen somebody get pulled from the side of the stage. NXT must have some weak stages. Everybody go through it. I swear it's what it seemed like. Because literally, just a month ago, Raquel Gonzalez one arm powerbomb Rhea Ripley through that stage. So yeah, that's a good point. Everybody said they be going through these stages when it comes to NXT. So so you need to do some reinforced steel, Mr. Regal. So Adam Cole brings Kyle O'Reilly back to the side of the ring. So you know what he's going for, because I was just like, okay, well he's not going to do this. He goes and gives Kyle O'Reilly a brain buster right there on the steel steps. I was like, it's over. It's over. Because it's over. He rolls him in the ring, dead serious. Referee goes for the count. As we get to 2, Kyle O'Reilly, he don't do no crazy kick out like anytime. He just put the shoulder up like this. Like he just with every ounce of energy he got, just put the shoulder up. Swag on Zero for the guy who's in the anime on this channel. That felt very anime-esque to me. Just said, 1 little inch left. I do it for my dead father type thing. I was like, okay, Kyle O'Reilly. I'm with you. I appreciate the storytelling that we're getting in this matchup. So Adam Cole is shocked to tell you. He can't believe that Kyle O'Reilly can kicked out of that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised myself. Cole sets him up to go for the last shot, but then Kyle O'Reilly does I'm too tired, falls over. They set him up again, but then he goes for the last shot. Kyle O'Reilly ducks out of it and then puts Adam Cole in a knee bar to try to get him to submit, but then Adam Cole hits him with a chain to get him off of him. Then Adam Cole goes back up to go for the Panama Sunrise again, but Kyle O'Reilly reverses it into a Ushigoroshi, and he goes and puts the knee pad down, goes to that dark place and hits Adam Cole with the last shot. His own finishing move against him. 1, 2, the Adam Cole kicks out. I'm like, okay, you know what? Usually I get on NXT or AEW or any kind of wrestling when people kick out too many finishers, but I like the fact that we have not got a Panama Sunrise yet. We never got a last shot, and we're not getting any finishing moves from these guys this year. They're using hard moves or either their other finishing moves. So I appreciate that they're trying to save the finishing move for when it's really needed, opposed to just doing multiple kickouts of the finishing move. Kyle O'Reilly tries to put Adam Cole's leg in between the chair, try to break the leg. But then as he goes to the top rope, Cole hits him with a steel chair. And he's on top rope taunting him. And Kyle O'Reilly gives him a low blow. He's like, no. He gets all amped up, takes the chain, wraps it around his knee, and then he puts a lock on and everything, and then does a diving knee down to the back of Adam Cole's head while he falls face first on the chair. It's great Devon selling from Adam Cole. He goes there with the little thigh twitch that Devon Dudley would do. 1, 2, 3. Kyle O'Reilly wins the unsanctioned matchup. I was like, good fucking match. I enjoyed it. Kyle O'Reilly come out with the win. It's needed because it's the undisputed everything is over. So now they gotta go their separate ways. But it's time for Kyle O'Reilly to go do that. I may receive some criticism for this, but I really love the matchup. And I honestly, like, they showed us what kind of matchup we can have without having all the exclusive violence things. Let me go to your questions real quick. Do you think anyone will get called up next week, like EO, Adam Cole, Finn Balor return to the main roster? Usually after WrestleMania, we always get call-ups, and because since both rosters are depleted of people, they're probably going to unfortunately call a lot of these people up, and we're going to get them used in a bad way. I think EO may get called up because both women's divisions suck on both shows. I can see Adam Cole going to Raw, Kyle O'Reilly going to SmackDown. Because there's no undisputed era anymore. Unless Kyle O'Reilly trying to go for the NXT Championship with Karrion Kross right now, the undisputed era really has done everything in NXT. So they can just probably go to the main roster. I would love to see EO stay down there, but once again, me personally, I would still like to see her go with Xia Li, even form a tag team with Xia Li, and go for the tag team titles. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of possibilities, because I just feel like the main roster would just ruin them. Vince would just don't know what makes them special, and not to know what to do with them. But this unsanctioned matchup, we didn't have the thumbtacks, we didn't have the glass, we didn't have the crimson mask. Like me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing some blood. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of blood. But they did it the safest way possible for what they can do in their WWE realm type thing, I should say. And I have to say, it was a dope match. He did a good job at it. Give them credit where credit is due. It was dope. So that was NXT, guys. NXT was night 1 and night 2 was dope. It was great. I enjoyed both nights. They really came. Even though I know they keep saying in our competition with WrestleMania got to bring their A game. WrestleMania has to bring their A game because NXT does a good job with it. And like I said, it's been a while since I've seen a really good takeover. And since we got like 2 different nights of it, I know both of them came out there. Jermaine says, I wonder how Bobby Fish will return all of this mess with us there. That's a damn good question. Because Bobby Fish, I swear, he did be getting injured at the wrong times. He's be coming in there and be like, come back. What the fuck happened? So, now, if you used to watch Ring of Honor, and Bobby Fish used to be a dope singles wrestler, so maybe he can get his run by himself in NXT. Because everybody need to go to the main roster. Bobby Fish, I will tell you, needs to stay far away from the main roster. Far away from the main roster. I'm going to take this Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly thing down. But he can stay far away. Because what's going to happen is he's going to get lost in the sauce. Like he's going to be like Tyler Breeze lost, okay? He's staying far away from there. And Roderick Strong, I mean, he can have great matches, but Roderick Strong like needs mic skills and personality to be on there, or Roderick Strong will be another Apollo Crews. And it'll take him almost 6-something years to find another gimmick that'll work. Right too old to be waiting like that. How was your experience with Peacock this time around? Okay, so this is the first thing I watched on Peacock when it came to the WWE stuff. At first, I was a little confused of I was trying to sign in and everything like that, and I was doing a very simple mistake. I personally miss how the network has things set up. I hope that they implement some of this kind of stuff in the on Peacock. But once again, Peacock's not necessarily a wrestling type streaming service like WWE Network was, because from my experiences with Peacock, you can't rewind, you can't pause, and you can't fast forward. And once again, I know people saying, well, it's a live stream. if you was watching it on the network, and it was like you can jump into live now, or you can start from the beginning and of beginning of the live stream, and you can do that. And even if you started live, you can go backwards if you miss something. That's what I'm saying. I missed the first 2 minutes of the Colorado Adam Cole match because my PS5 got unplugged, and I kind of came late to the Santos and Jordan Devlin matchup also. So I wanted to make sure I wanted to go back and see all those. But once the thing started playing, you can't stop it and say watch from the beginning. You have to just watch it from where it's playing at. And there's like no pausing or anything like that. So you really got to watch it. And somebody who has my life, which I know there are people out there that do have this life, or people like young people who are out here watch my channel, you probably don't understand at the moment. But when you marry and you have 2 kids, and you just getting off of work on a weekday, it's so hard to just be able to just stop, plop, get yourself something to eat, relax a little bit, and watch some good wrestling with no interruptions. It doesn't exist, okay? It doesn't exist. Soon I can't come. I get off work a little late. I come back in, and got the kids come up to me, ask me what's for dinner, and I'm like, NXT is for dinner. I'm trying to watch that. Okay, go eat the floor. I'm playing. I would say it to my kids, but it's just so hard. So Peacock not be able to pause and rewind, fast forward, or even match jump. Now, some of the stuff I watched on Peacock, when you watch pay per view on the network back in the day, you can just jump to a certain match on that pay per view show. Now you can't even do that. And once again, I'm not saying this is permanent. It just got on Peacock, so it's like every week they're adding more and more stuff. So by the full library of the network should be over there by August, they claim. But right now, I mean, because I watch the network for a lot of old stuff. I used to watch my WCW Saturday nights over there. I used to watch my WCW Monday Nitros or WCW Thunders or my Smackdowns, whatever the case may be. So they don't have all them classic years yet, or Tuesday Night Titans and stuff like that. I'm an old school guy, so those are things I do miss. But that this takeover has really got me excited. Even the Hall of Fame so much. I'm really excited to see how they do WrestleMania, despite how we feel about Vince and how he just destroys shit, hurt business, and does all the other stuff like that. Uh, I really want to see what they do with like WrestleMania, especially all topic. I always placed the women's tag team title number one contender on SmackDown and SmackDown tag title on WrestleMania. Hold on. So you're saying that you would take the women's tag team championship off the show completely for WrestleMania, or have the number one contenders match on SmackDown, and then just leave the regular championship match on WrestleMania? So if you're saying it that way, I agree with you. It was putting on. First of all, they just put this match on there, and they're like, "Where's Bailey?" Like, ding dong, hello. Like, there's no Bailey on this WrestleMania card at all, and I'm like, "Where's Bailey?" So now we got these 4 teams that only the legit team we got in there is the Riot Squad, but only the legit team they care about is the Ty and Tamina to have this pointless no heat match on WrestleMania on night 2 of all nights. You know what I'm saying? The main event night. Night 2 of all nights they had with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that match. They took my Bailey. Yeah, Bailey ain't on the card this year. And that ding dong hello sucks. I'm like, for Bailey, who's has been a main event top player and had a good year last year. And like, y'all can't find. First of all, this whole WrestleMania card hasn't been thrown together. They only had what, one match in mind maybe, and everything else has been thrown together. And once again, I think people are acting all new because they haven't been in front of a crowd like this for over a year. We've seen sports like people have gone back in to baseball games, football games, basketball games. Like, very, very little fans have been in there. And then you see the Super Bowl, where it's like we have about 25,000 people that was in there, plus the cardboard cutout. So Vince wants to do the same thing for both nights. So this is the most they performed in over a year. So he wants to try to do everything right, but he still wants to control the crowd. I'm like, no matter what you do, you cannot control the crowd when ain't been no crowd over a year. You can't do that. I heard that might make Bailey attack Billy Kay, and she will team up with Carmella in a tag team contender match. It's a possibility because we don't need Billy Kay in there. First of all, Billy Kay needs to be a Peyton Royce. That's number one, and they need to be Iconics again. Let's straighten that out because that concept got nothing to do. Number two, once again, that is poor excuse. Even if that does happen, that's a poor excuse that Bailey has to beat up somebody to go team with Carmella. They're not even a tag team, but it's to get on the show. Bailey should have a better, more suitable storyline than that. And a lot of women should. You should not just have be relegated to like two women's matches because there's a championship. You can make mid-card women's storylines. You really can. But they don't put that much effort into the women's storylines in the first place. So that's what makes it. That's why it sucks. Damn, when I'm talking like this, I don't need the deer park. I need some liquor because Vince will make you drink. I'll tell you that right now. Vince will make you drink. But I still want to see how the crowd, like how the legit crowd is going to be. I want to see the Pirate Boat at WrestleMania. I want to see how everything is going to be set up. I want to see who's going to main event. I'm trying to go big for WrestleMania, y'all. I appreciate everybody that's Are you excited for any of the matches? Okay, peep this. I was really excited for Bobby and Drew. Then they killed the Hurt Business, and it pissed me off. It took me out of it. It legit took me out of it when they killed the Hurt Business. They made Bobby Lashley a mythical god, okay? A mythical god. Bobby Lashley went from a Ninja Turtle villain to a DC hero. Literally, within the span of a couple of years that he's been in WWE since the comeback. And I'm like, he has been booked wonderfully. And he had the Hurt Business behind him and MVP. And I was just like, yo, that Bobby Lashley right there, I would love to see go up against the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns in Survivor Series this year. And the way Drew McIntyre has already been booked, that was a good match. But Vince McMahon put his hands in it, and it's kind of like the Warner Bros. Execs when the suits want to touch everything, and they took off to Her Business because they want to try. He knew that they was going to cheer Bobby Lashley when he got to Mania. Why wouldn't he? He had a kick-ass faction, has a kick-ass intro, has a kick-ass body, and it's a very intimidating looking champion. Why wouldn't they cheer him? Why wouldn't they? Because that's what I was going to do. To be real, that's what I was going to do. And they killed it. And now they got him look like a little bitch. And I'm like, really? This man has been taking down names without no help. And now he wants to get the help of like Corbin. No, I wasn't excited for that match. I wasn't. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, I'm excited for because of the history for it. We got two black women going at it for the championship. Absolutely, I'm hyped for that. It may be the main event, but the story build up to it has been lackluster because a lot of it is because of Reginald, and a lot of it because they didn't pull the plug on certain things, and a lot of it is because I think they're going to keep the storyline going, kind of like how Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles was. And Bayley had a match. Who will you let her face at Mania? All right, so the way I look at it is it's about storyline here. Honestly, if you look at it, there is really like no woman lined up to go up against Bayley. But once again, you got to create a story. Once Bayley lost to Bianca Belair, they did nothing with it at all. And Bianca Belair was going to go up against Sasha Banks in the first place. And I'm like, whether you had Bayley jump to Raw or you created something, a story, just to have Bayley be on that card. Because she deserves to be on the card to do what? I don't necessarily know just yet. Because it all depends on what kind of story you want to build up to. Like, do I want to see her face Carmella one-on-one? Not really. But do I want to see her in a tag team matchup thrown together? Not really. But I want to see her. It's all about story building. And all about, rivalry, stuff like that. Because honestly, me personally, It wasn't going to be Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks if they did the story right, because in my personal opinion, the Hell in a Cell match that Bayley and Sasha Banks had at Hell in a Cell should have been at WrestleMania. Should have been at this WrestleMania. But they couldn't keep the story going long enough. And once again, that's why I don't like the gimmick show pay-per-views. I don't like TLC. I don't like Hell in a Cell. I don't like the pay-per-views where you have to have that match because that pay-per-view is coming up. No. You could have saved that. You could have built this whole story thing up. You could have built the break off. Because look, think about it. Hell in a Cell's in October. Okay? And you could have found a way to stretch that a little bit longer and have Bayley and Sasha Banks at Mania. That would have been a big time feel, a big time match. It probably would have main evented. But they didn't. They pulled the plug, and then but if you're going to pull the plug on a storyline, which like I said, it culminated great. I enjoyed the Bayley and Sasha Banks storyline and how it ended. But y'all had everything for Sasha to do, but y'all had nothing for Bayley to do. And she going around here just doing these little talk show segments and stuff like that. But to the point where it's like, okay, well, what is she going to do? She has done nothing. And y'all haven't, it ain't her fault. You just gave her nothing really to do. That's why I agree with you saying that people can come to the main roster and stuff like that because they're depleted. They're depleted. People probably sick. And then what Vince don't realize is he's ruining his own roster. You could have had a number of numerous people or women that could have been at the top spot right now. You could have had a numerous women there at the top spot right now that Bayley could have had a match against, or you could switch some things around, but you haven't built anybody. You didn't build Naomi back up after she came back. If they did, hold on, they did have a match at Mania, that would be Sasha Mania moment she never had. I agree. I definitely agree. She would deserve that moment. Me personally, it's like you could have built up Naomi. Like me and my homie was saying that Naomi should be part of her business because they were talking about trying to put a woman in there. And you ain't got to throw her in a championship right now, but you could definitely give her have a storyline. Look what happened to Mia Yim. Reckoning. It did nothing because Retribution sucked ass and she was wasted. This is Mia Yim we talking about, okay? Jade from TNA. This is what we talking about here. She's good. And they have nothing for her to do. Keith Lee got injured or is sick or is something or Vince don't like because he's fat. Whatever the case may be, there's no Keith Lee. There's people that's missing off this Mania card, okay? And they didn't have time to build up nobody. The Riot Squad was the only legit team they had. They suck. You could have built up women's tag teams and stuff like that. There's a lot of things you could have did that they took the time months ago to do it. They could have did it, but no, we had to too busy take time to build up a Braun Strowman Shane McMahon feud, which we thought was gonna lead to Shane jumping off the pirate ship or jumping off some shit into a fucking steel cage. That makes no sense. That's what this stuff has been wasted for, because they're reactionary. Oh, I got another question here. Word on the street is that Bayley's doing an open challenge claiming she's the best in the world and it's an open challenge and Io will accept it. That's not bad. It's actually pretty dope. It's actually pretty dope. I'm not really mad at that. That would be cool too. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, you could have that could have been a Rhea Ripley spot if they didn't, kind of just fall by the rings as a booking her. You know, the only reason why Rhea Ripley's in a title shot with Asuka right now because of the whole Charlotte thing. Okay, that's the only reason why she's in a title shot with Asuka right now. I mean, not saying she don't deserve to be because she does, but it's just the way it was booked. It was terrible. If Io answers the challenge, that would be kind of cool. But it's like, do you want to see Bayley and Io have a good match, knowing that they can have a good match, or do you want to see Io come out there and squash her? You know. Because now you're sitting there thinking like, oh, well, which night is going to go on? I mean, to me, that's a night one match. Why not? You know, that's the crowd out. But that will be something for Bayley's character. She's a heel, and she'll want somebody to come out there and say, "Hey, ding dong, hello, I am, the best out here, and I have no match at WrestleMania. How could you forgive me like that?" And honestly, it would have been better if they built it up in a storyline like every week that she talks about her not having a match at WrestleMania, and she issues the open challenge, and then now you're sitting there thinking, or I'm sitting here thinking, while we do our WrestleMania predictions, which by the way, my WrestleMania predictions come out tomorrow at 12, so make sure you check those out. They were made before the women's tag team match was added on there, so we don't talk about that matchup. But everything else we do talk about. And she just talked about the open challenge and leading up to it. So at WrestleMania, we sitting there thinking like, okay, who is the woman that's going to come and challenge her? And it gets our ideas going, and it builds curiosity. That's all it needs to take. And Vince McMahon is so worried about how this natural crowd is going to think. He wants them to. How are you going to tell a crowd that's been in the house for a year how to act when they have not been to a live show in over a year, especially a wrestling show? You can't tell them who to cheer or boo for. That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. And so I'm curious to see how the main crowd is going to be on that night one. I'm curious to see how the wrestlers are going to respond to that, because you don't know what you have until it's gone. And you can be. It's like you're not rusty at wrestling, but you are kind of rusty at wrestling in front of people. You know what I'm saying? Because that adrenaline is going to be moving. And I think like they're going to try to 5-star all these matches come a WrestleMania time. But yeah, for the Bayley thing, I hope that's the thing. I really hope that they do an open challenge. It may not have to be Io. It could be, why not Raquel Gonzalez? I'm not saying they got called up, but she's the new NXT champion. Why not? Just to put a name on there. It could be a thing. Got another question here. We got, do you think Jimmy returns during the triple threat to aid Roman in retaining the Universal Championship at WrestleMania? Okay, let me swing this real quick. Tell me if you like this or not, because this was my plan for Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso should have been back, first off. Jimmy Uso should have been back and go back with Jey Uso. Jimmy, Jay, and Roman should have had that whole Roman Empire or whatever stable that they wanted to have back in January. Okay? I don't know what they're waiting on Jimmy for. And me personally, the match I had planned was, if Roman going to have the Universal Championship, you're not going to disgrace the family. You are the tag team of this family. Now, they turned Jey Uso to a decent single star, but what's he doing at Mania? Nothing. And right now, it's like he'll probably go help Roman, but I mean, he'll have nothing going on at Mania. The match I wanted with the Usos was the Usos going against the Street Profits for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That's what I wanted. Because I think that's magic right there. The Usos taking on the Street Profits. Hood against hood. That's what I wanted at WrestleMania. Straight up and down tag team match, because the New Day and Street Profits was good. And I'm like, well, put them in there with the Usos. Because the Street Profits didn't win. But now, the Street Profits got a forgettable match on the WrestleMania edition of SmackDown tomorrow night against three tag teams that don't even really matter. They ain't really a team. Or maybe Kyrie returned to face Bayley to get some payback. That would be great if they knew how to tell a good story. Because that would be kind of dope. Because me personally, if I was to get Kyrie Sane back from one night at WrestleMania with the crowd, and I want her to beat Bayley's ass, I would have did the whole thing I just said about leading on to having her tell this, saying, I don't have a WrestleMania opponent. How y'all forget about me? Go talk to Adam Pearce. Why y'all forget about me? Go talk to Sonya Deville. Like, how come you're here? You're supposed to be representing the women. How come you're not looking out for me? How come I ain't got a WrestleMania matchup? I would have did all of that. All that build up to the point where she says, I'm going to go out there and demand a challenge because you're not going to disrespect me. I am a SmackDown Women's Champion, a future Hall of Famer. I'm a former Raw Women's Champion, and I'm the first ever Women's Tag Team Champion. And y'all going to disrespect me like this? Oh, absolutely. I would have did that. And then you could have bring out Kyrie Sane at WrestleMania. after they was the ones that took out Kyrie Zane, her and Sasha Banks, or it was just Bailey took her out. Yeah, Jermaine, you need a job at WWE also because that right, I wasn't even thinking about Kyrie Zane. Will it happen? Absolutely not. They're not bringing her over from Japan. How does Japan want to come over to America right now? they not they not bringing her over there or back from there. She can be their global endorser and everything like that. But WWE is not thinking like that right now. They are not thinking like that. If they were on the cusp of thinking that kind of way and booking that kind of way, we would have had Mustafa Ali versus Kofi at WrestleMania at Mania this year also, because that means they would care about the little storylines. So to answer that question, Kyrie is dope, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I like thinking of that way. And to answer the other question, Jimmy Uso probably will come help Roman retain, but for some reason, I think Edge gonna steal this one. I mean, we know they're gonna be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's not gonna be the babyface champion right now, but I do think that Edge may steal this one. Raw ratings suck, and when Raw ratings suck, Vince panics like WB does, and he wants who gets the ratings back up on Raw? Roman. And I can see them trying to take Roman and bring him back to Raw to help with the ratings and probably put Drew on SmackDown and fuck up the whole thing like that. I hear what you're saying with Jimmy should have been back, but the most impactful way to bring Jimmy back is now to help Roman and the bloodline stand tall with Heyman. I agree with you. They botched the whole Jimmy. Like I said, Jimmy should have been back. Jimmy should have been back already. And they could have had an impactful thing with him at the Royal Rumble. They could have had an impactful thing with them at the Elimination Chamber. There's impactful ways that he could have brought back Jimmy Uso, and with the whole Roman Empire thing, I really think, or the Bloodline, you can really do that. And then, but wouldn't it be impactful also of having them stand up there with all the titles, kind of how it was with the Hurt Business? Like they have all the titles. They had a SmackDown Gold, and then Roman has the Universal, because that'd be dope. And they all got blue belts, so I'm saying it all fits. And I would have just liked it that way, but now it could be impactful, but it's only impactful because that's Jay's brother, and Jay ain't been getting the job done. Okay, so like every time Roman tells Jay to take somebody out or make sure he don't make it to Mania or whatever the case may be, Edge is still walking, DB is still walking. He's failed. So you can get his brother. It's like, oh, cool, we can see your brother. And now the brothers are back, Uso Penitentiary. But in reality, it's just like, all right, it's just another Uso for me to knock down type thing. I know Jay will return, and he will not agree with Jay and Roman. So they do Jimmy versus Jay. If Jay wins, Jimmy join. Oh, see. I get it. I truly do get it. But I don't like them kind of. I don't like partner versus partner matches because they usually suck. To be honest with you, they kind of suck to me. I mean, storyline purposes, it's kind of like the way how Jay joined Roman Reigns. He kept losing, and he finally had to join, type thing. But it's like, okay, you can have Jimmy versus Jay, and then of course Jimmy gonna probably lose and fall in line, type thing, and don't agree because he can't stand up to Roman and Jay. And honestly, it's a waste of time for him to even try to go up against Jimmy. Go against Jay. And I don't know if that match sells. I like the Usos together because it's already bad enough. We broke up too many tag teams for no reason. Heavy Machinery is gone for no apparent reason whatsoever. The Iconics is gone for no apparent reason whatsoever. Well, we know why Mandy and Sonya Deville is gone, but I mean, her Dana Brooke is a fine team. It's all right. The Viking Raiders is injured, so they got nothing for them to do. They botched AOP. They're gone. So I don't need to. It's like, at least give us the Usos because they were a legit team. If Edge wins the title, SmackDown after WrestleMania, Edge brings back all gold World Heavyweight Championship that he never lost. Me, as a fan of WCW, a former WCW guy, and a guy who currently does own that World Championship, is all. I'm cool with that. Vince don't want that title back. You can kiss that shit goodbye. Vince does not want that title back at all. He don't want it back. He don't want to see it again. He don't want to hear about it again. No, Vince don't want that back. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. I like the world title. I have no problem with the world title. I have no problem with the big gold belt. One of my favorite belts of all time. So is the Wing Eagle. They're not bringing that back. And to the point, sometimes you don't kind of don't want to bring it back. I mean, you kind of want to move ahead with certain things, but yeah, no, I don't think they're gonna bring that thing back. I'm sorry. You know, it's a fine idea, but I don't think they're gonna bring that back. So I hope you guys are excited for WrestleMania. I plan on having an awesome stream for both nights. So Swag on Zero will join us as the casual fan. Hopefully we have Prime Time. I don't know if Prime Time is going to be live streaming from his house or if he's actually going to go and give us the live streaming from the actual Tampa Bay place. That because so he lives down in Florida, so he may go down there live and live stream with us while he's live down there. That would be kind of dope. So we gotta keep posting what's gonna happen, and of course Q Flow. So I plan on bringing some people on there. I hope everybody comes back for that chat because I'm trying to I know my goal was set a little bit too high the first time, but I think we do pretty good in these chats sometimes. You know what I'm saying, of average people, and especially when I did my premiere of the Hall of Fame review earlier. So we got a good amount of people in that. So I'm trying to get up to about 20 people up in that thing. Especially since we just now started lives again. Oh, well, at least I am. Swag be doing them all the time. But for me to start a live. So I hope everybody would join me tomorrow for part 1 of WrestleMania. I'm excited to see what's going to happen on night 1. Maybe Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair main event. Maybe Bobby doesn't lose the championship after all. Maybe the Hurt Business is really not broken up and they gave us a swerve, which is Dow Sim reaching. You hear me? Dow Sim reaching. But it's WrestleMania. Tomorrow you guys will be getting what's tomorrow? Friday. Alright, so I have no wrestling for you guys tomorrow because the live stream is going up, so y'all can see that. I know, got some movie experiences coming out. I got Fighting with My Family. So for WrestleMania week, I'm putting up the remaster review of the Page movie, Fighting with My Family, that I seen back in 2019 from the old channel, and I will put that up along with the retro reaction. Probably should have went up today also. Then Saturday got my movie experience stuff, but then that's when we're gonna get the WrestleMania stuff for Saturday and Sunday. What do you think of the new theme songs? Oh, that's probably songs. Okay, we need songs for Kyle and Cole. I think they're kind of dope. I like Kyle O'Reilly's theme song. I like the guitar riff going in there. The Cole one is kind of cool. I mean, me personally, I was a big fan of Undisputed Era theme song. So when it was in Ring of Honor, I really did not pay attention to what their theme songs were because I was not a fan of Ring of Honor like that. Ring of Honor had some good people in there, but I was just not necessarily a big fan of Ring of Honor. But I pay attention to the theme songs. But when it comes to like both of the two, I like Colorado's theme song. I think more so than Cole. I mean, the whole Cole thing at the beginning, I'm just like, I don't know. Those two everything kind of fit with me, and it fit with the Adam Cole baby type thing. I don't even as he was a heel during Undisputed Era also. I don't know where I get the Adam Cole baby at in this new song, but I am feeling the new Colorado song. So that was actually dope. All right, guys. So it looks like we've been out here chatting for about an hour. If y'all got any more last minute questions over there, y'all can hurry up and throw it into the chat, and I'll answer before we get out of here. But other than that, I want you guys to join me and all my Nerd Coalition friends for the WrestleMania night 1, night 2. Usually sometimes we do reactions, so I'm not necessarily sure if we're gonna do one this time around or not. But we can depend on what the match is. Maybe Orton and Fiend, maybe something like that. But yeah, make sure you guys join. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Do I think Eva Marie Webb? Okay, so here we go. We playing that game? Alright, look, time to end this shit right now. I ain't even gonna talk about it. I ain't even gonna bring it up. The answer is no. Quick no. I'm not even gonna entertain that question. I'm not even gonna do it. I know what you want me to say. I'm not gonna do it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the night. You know what I'm saying? NXT was awesome. Dope. Getting ready for WrestleMania this weekend. Let's see how Smackdown goes. I will review Smackdown. I haven't done Raw Smackdown reviews in a while because they just suck. But I'll do Smackdown because it's a WrestleMania edition, and that should be up Saturday morning. All right. So guys, once again, this is NC the place to be. Children, Mr. Andy, and the Nerd Coalition is out.